Okay, we are recording. Okay, guys, so welcome to our mini Maven call. Thanks for being on live. I know sometimes it's hard with jobs and stuff, so I appreciate you getting on. We just kind of want to touch base today and issue a couple fun challenges, but also just kind of see how things are going. And I think the best way to kind of start off is, first of all, if you guys have been a part of the Marco Polo group. It's been really, really fun to hear your words and why you guys chose those words. So if you've not gotten on there to share your word and why that's your word, do that. Get off after we're done with the call, get on Marco Polo. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me know so we can make sure you're on the Marco Polo. But it's been really fun to go through and listen to everybody's words, and that we're going to be able to really utilize that group to do some really big things and to connect. And it's going to be a really great coaching point too. So get on there if you have not. But I want to hear from you guys today, at least right now. What is one good thing that's happening in your business right now as we speak? Maybe something this week that was a little, even a small win for you, a sale, a sponsoring conversation, a new booking, anything. So I'd love for you guys to just quickly go around, maybe share just something that's going well for you in your business, just to kind of start there. Anybody want to start first? First person I see on my screen is Megan. If you want to just chime in with anything that's going well for you, Megan.
Last week is I did a fundraiser link for a mall, and so we've kind of come together as a
Megan, you're cutting out. I'm sorry. Is anyone else able to hear her?
No.
Okay, yeah, I hear like one word and then you're frozen. So sorry. Shoot. Okay, sorry, Megan. I don't know what happened. We'll move on, and then Megan come back if maybe she can chat it in, or if she's not frozen, we can have her try and talk again. Rhiannon, do you want to go?
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited. I signed someone up this week, which was really unexpected. Awesome. It was someone I talked to in the fall during the October sign-up special. And she was really excited, but then at the last minute was like, no, I need to do something else right now. So she reached out to me to order a couple of things, and I threw out the special at her again, and she was like, okay, I'm in.
Yeah, I love it. So you turned the sale into a new stylist on your team.
Yes. So I've really been throwing it out at everyone, and I'm really excited about that. I have someone else who I'm almost positive she's signing up this week. So I feel like that was great. And then there was even someone random on Instagram that I follow her. She follows me, and she commented on the jewelry that I was wearing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this jewelry is like totally your style. And like, you should be a stylist. And so we're having this like conversation about it just on Instagram, and you know, that may or may not turn out to be something, but I think it for me is just like practicing it so it doesn't feel so uncomfortable and it feels more natural and like not such a big deal when I'm throwing it out everywhere. So I feel really good about that, which is nice because I can't book another February party to save my life. So.
And we'll talk about some of that too. I think it's really cool that you're just being brave and talking about it with everybody. There's really no reason not to. So big congrats to you on just taking the step of taking those actions and actually putting it out there to them. And look what it's doing. So that's exciting. Yay for you. Megan, I think you're unfrozen now. I can see you good. You want to go?
Yeah, sorry. My Wi-Fi sucks here at work. Apparently.
You're totally fine.
Now I'm good. So I was just saying that this past week I did a fundraiser for a local family. The mom has been battling cancer for the past 10 years. And don't worry, that's just my work phone. Don't pay attention to that. And so we were able to raise over $8,000 as a community for that family. She's kind of getting sent on hospice, and so we're really trying to rally and get some funds for the family. So I was able to participate and contribute a little bit with a fundraiser link. So that was kind of my good thing for the week.
It's always good to like do good and feel good, and that's awesome. I love that. Okay, who else do I see? Haley, I see you. Are you able to chime in real quick?
Yes, I'm also at work. So if a parent walks in,
no worries.
I guess so I'm going to take it sort of negative and make it positive, I guess. Like, I have been feeling sort of frustrated through February, but I feel like that is sort of pushing me to do things that I've been nervous to do before.
Okay.
So, like, I have been thinking about doing a pop-up, and like, I really need to do it. I moved across the country, and so I don't know a ton of people over here. So that in-home portion, like in person, has been really hard for me over here. Like the meeting people, and like it's weird. Like as an adult, it's hard to make friends, which is like so funny. But so I feel like I've been like wanting to do a pop-up and wanting to do it in person, and like I feel like I'm at this place where I'm like, okay, you just gotta like bite the bullets. Like last night I was looking up a list of like local boutiques and salons that I can call, and so I think just like that sort of like pushing me past my like, oh, I feel kind of uncomfortable about doing this, and like pushing me to like, okay, I'm gonna do it. Like I'm gonna make it happen.
That's awesome. Good for you. Very good. Okay. I love that. Pop-ups. And then Ashley, I see you. Are you able to chat real quick?
Yes. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So I think that obviously with everybody else, February's been a little bit frustrating, but something that's happened this week that I think is good is I reached out to a gal that I totally had forgotten about and to book a show. And so she's actually going to be booking, but being that it's already the end of February, it's going to be in probably March. So I'm really excited about that because I've been having like total people ghosting me with booking shows. And so I was excited that she's actually going to book for March. So I'm excited about that. And it's also been really fun. My new stylist that I signed up a couple weeks ago, she's having her launch show, I think, this weekend. So I've been really chatting with her about it, and that's been super fun because she's really excited. So her energy is kind of rubbing off on me. So I'm just trying, like, just, you know, pushing on through and just trying to, I don't know, try to end February as best as I can. I also reached out to Carol Ulmer this week because I'm wanting to vamp up my online shows. And obviously everyone knows that she's the online show guru. And so we've been chatting personally, and she's going to be adding me to some of her online groups that she's been doing so I can kind of be a fly on the wall. So I'm excited about that too.
And I know Kara's been really open about the opportunity of her doing some sort of training, whether that's like a Zoom or a Facebook thing or whatever. So I know a lot of people have been interested in that. So,
and I searched her other tips on Team Glam that she had posted, I think, back in November. So that was really insightful, but I kind of wanted to get more of like, you know, like a fly on the wall type perspective and actually seeing what she does in her group. Because I also found it interesting that she creates a group on Facebook rather than a Facebook event. And so I found that that was interesting, and I was interested in hearing more from her. So we've been kind of chatting about that.
You want to pipe in, Kara? No? Would you be
Also like,
okay, sorry, I'm parked. I'm at my house waiting to meet my contractor, and so I'm just waiting for him to get here. Yeah, no, I'm so happy to help everybody. I have spent like hundreds of hours working on my online shows, so I'm more than happy to share what I do and how I have found success with everybody. So yeah, whatever you guys need, just feel free, please reach out. I'm happy to add you guys into groups and kind of share. The reality is, not to get in, I'm not trying to do like a training right now, but the biggest thing about online shows, no, Cam, stay, we're not getting out right now, is more so what I do behind the scenes than the actual posting. And so that's why I think sometimes trainings are good, because I can add you into a group, but it's more about what I'm doing behind the scenes than the actual like posts themselves. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself because I feel like my kids are loud.
Fine. We'll try to maybe plan something with Kara that she can do a little training for everybody. I think that'd be really helpful for a lot of people, especially in a month like this where I know a lot of us has felt a little bit frustrated, and it's just kind of the nature of the business. We'll talk about that too. But yeah, yeah.
Let me pop in real quick before I gotta jump off. I just wanted to like say a little something to everybody. I echo what Steph says about hearing everybody's words. I think that's awesome. And you know, you're not alone in feeling frustrated in February, but we can still, I do like that we still have plenty of days left. You know, we have this sale that's finishing today. And you know, Steph's gonna give you some tactical things to do and tips and things like that. But some things that might help your mindset as you're moving forward and feeling that frustration, because it's kind of normal that we're all feeling that right now, is what can you focus on that can be a win for you? So do you have some customers that would like some of the sale things? Do some personal sale reach outs because it's the last day of the sale. Write down a list of things that would fuel your business right now, that would make you feel like, yeah, this is a positive that I have working for me. Like, for instance, positive that I'm going to put down for me is that I have all next week kind of open to either do shows or do online shows or do personal styling. So I feel like I do have actually some time left. So I'm going to like kind of jot those days down. I have people that I have not reached out to or followed up with that I made the initial reach out. So that's kind of a positive that I actually have some people in my bucket. I just need to do the work to do it. So just kind of maybe like making those things for yourself so that you can get in that positive mindset as you're moving forward to finish out this month wherever you may be. So I just kind of wanted to add that because number one, it's normal. And then how do you kind of shift yourself away from that? Because if we kind of stay in that mindset, you're not going to get anywhere. You won't get as far. So, and not to downplay it, because it's true. Yes, we're all having it. Just how do I kind of bounce back faster than dwelling in what I don't have, if that makes sense.
Amen, sister. I like that. I think that kind of plays off. We were talking to Kate earlier this morning, and she's like, it would be weird if February was like a dream. Like if February was like a November month, that'd be weird. Like February is just not that month. And that's kind of normal to kind of know that, but that's not an excuse to not try to make it the best month that we can make it. And I feel like, with the storms and the snow, and we were like, oh man, everyone's canceling and no one wants to book. That's really all in our head too. I mean, the cancellations are real. I get that. But I think we automatically go to a negative space as soon as we have one small thing negative happen in our business. It's a slippery slope. It's really easy to just go downhill and feel that negativity. But if you really turn it around, like Amelia said, and think about, okay, what are some small wins I have had, and what are some small things I still can do to move my business forward? And that's kind of what this Zoom is about, is like, where are we all at right now? What do we still need? And how can we help each other get there? Maybe brainstorm some ways to get there, since we do still have 9 days left. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but it really is, like, especially with online shows, and people do book in tight. Like that's actually where I get my best shows, is when I book in like a week and a half out. Those are my best attended shows. So if that gives you any like excitement, like, oh, I can do this, you totally can. So just like throwing that out there. I did want to finish around with people that haven't shared yet. Jess, I see you on my screen next. Do you want to pop in real quick and just share like one thing that's going well in your business?
I think the one thing that is, every day I'm consistently doing something, even if it's only like 15, 20 minutes. I just had a cancellation today for my Sunday show. So I even texted Amelia. I was like, okay, I got to go now. I had a little bit of a pity party, and then now I'm ready to go on to plan B. So I have a lot to do in 9 days. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Okay. And good for you for just even taking those small increments, because we all know like that little time really adds up to a lot of production if you really take that time to do it. So that's really good to hear. Sonali, I think you're the one we haven't talked to yet. I know you popped in a little bit late. We were just talking about what's one thing going well in your business right now. If you're able, maybe you have to type in, and that's totally fine if you do. So I'll see if she mentions that. I think we just kind of want to see where everyone's at with sales and with sponsoring. So I know our goal this month is 2,500 in sales and sponsoring 1. So who here has sponsored somebody this month? You can raise your hand, you can chime in. I know, okay, Ashley has, Rhiannon has, okay, and then I can't tell if Sonali has. Okay, so I feel like if you guys haven't heard about tonight, Blythe is doing I believe Facebook Live. I need to look into the details tonight. And it's basically a Meet, Style, and Dot, but Blythe is leading it. And I think this is an amazing opportunity to kind of put a little challenge out to get you guys to reach out to people that either you've been talking with, you've wanted to talk with, and you haven't yet. People like on your dream team that are like in your head, like, oh gosh, who would I love to do this with, but I've never reached out to before about it. Share what's going to happen tonight with Blythe and invite them to come. So I do challenge you guys to invite 10 people to that tonight. Make a list of people, send them a personalized message to them, and invite them to the Meet Sell and Dot with Blythe tonight. So 10 people. That's like the first part of your challenge. And then I think we just want to kind of focus on how do we get those sales? And I know, again, like Amelia said, the sale's ending tonight. What a good reason to reach out. We know a lot of people are last minute shoppers, myself included. When I know there's like a week-long sale, I'm a procrastinator in that I always wait to the last minute. Sign up specials. People always wait to the last minute. The 31st at 11:30 at night, they're finally signing up. And this is just what happens. It's how people live their lives sometimes. So just because it's the last day of the sale, it's a Tuesday. You guys are obviously in this. You're listening. You're here live now. And if you're listening to the replay, you still have time to do the reach outs for personal sales, to that one-on-one sale with someone that you think they might love something. Find a cute image. Send that personal text like, this totally looks like something that you would just love. Just wanted to share it. Sales ending tonight. Like, all this stuff's under $50. So I know it takes the work. It really does take the effort to do these things. But we all have the same goal. We all have the goal of selling 2,500 by the end of the month. And we're not going to give up on that because we only have a couple days left. We're not going to just give up on that because it's easy to give up on that, but we're not going to do that. So take advantage of the sale. And I truly think that if you guys make, those lists of people you're reaching out to, have you done the reach outs? Like, have you actually done the actions? Do your actions match your purpose? You want to do, you want to sponsor and you want to sell, but have you done the things to get yourself there? And I think it's just kind of like a gut check. Like, have I really done the things that I need to do to move my business forward and hit that goal by the end of the month? It's not even really a goal. It's a requirement for the program. So if you approach it less as like, that's my goal, and more like, this is what I have to do. If this was my own business, and I was not part of Stella and Dot, and I owned a brick and mortar company where my company depended on me getting to these requirements by the end of the month, would I do it? And how would I do it? So I think if we just kind of change our mindset, thinking these are requirements, it may help kind of boost you wanting to do a little bit more action. So I think we're just kind of talking about booking, right? So online shows, are you guys attempting to reach out for those things for people that are not in your local area? I think the best thing you can do for yourself right now is make a list of 20 people that do not live around you, people out of state, other side of the country. Anybody can do an online show. And I'm not some guru at all. I've done them here or there. I've had great ones and I've had poor ones. And I think that's kind of the nature of online shows, honestly. But Kara clearly knows what she's doing. And I bet I can talk her into doing something for us maybe tomorrow or the next day so we can take advantage of her knowledge and apply it to shows that we can book for the weekend. The cool thing about online shows is you can book them like the day before. Like I can literally book one and start one tonight if I really wanted to. Same with all of you guys. So I think if we just put in the actions and the efforts of, okay, who do I know that is not around here that could do an online show? You can come up with, I bet, 100 people if you really wanted to. It just depends on how much effort you want to put in. So if you want to hit those requirements by the end of the month, you have to put in the work and the action to get there. So I think online shows are a great option. It's at least worth the try. And if anything, you're going to gain the experience from that. Anything else that you guys are doing or trying to do to hit those end of month goals that maybe you could share with anybody else that's working for you or that you're at least trying? I just thought I would throw it out there if you guys have anything that you guys are doing to try and make up those sales for the end of the month. Anybody have any input on that?
Well, can I ask a question? Sure. Okay, so I'm doing, my reach outs and I have my first reach out. So something I have not done well in the past is do that follow-up schedule, 2 days later, 7 days, then close the loop. So what I tend to do is like, I do my first reach out, and then it's probably closer to a week later, I like reach out again. And then if I don't get anything, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is horrible. So or I have people who are like, yeah, that sounds cool. And then I don't hear from them again. So on my list, I'm like, now I'm actually hitting them up. So I know I kind of messed this up, but I'm hitting them up for like the third time, even though it feels like the first time because it was a month ago. And so I don't know if I've just blown it with them, because I didn't keep kind of that schedule. Or I'm also wondering, how do I approach it in a new way? Like the third day is like, or the third reconnect is like, oh, pose it a different way with a new offer. But I'm like, well, what? Right now, I'm not always a great outside the box thinker. So I'm like, well, what is that new offer? There's no hostess special right now. There is the sale, but how do I turn that into a booking? So kind of like, what's my new? How do I pose it new?
So you've already offered the show, correct? Like you already offered the show maybe like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Now it's like the third follow-up. I tend to do something, and I am not a creative person, you guys. I either hear something, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to try that. I tend to like rarely make things up on my own. So I'm with you on that. But I tend to do like the, hey, like I'm totally still thinking about you. Like kind of do something to make them feel it, because there's a reason that you think they would like to do the show, or you want to spoil them, or you think they would love the style and their friends would too. So like, hey, I'm still thinking about you. I know like it was hard to connect earlier because we were both really busy. Like kind of just put it off as though like it wasn't her fault. And this honestly is truly a reason why the 48 and the 1 week is so close together, because it doesn't feel awkward, right? It doesn't feel awkward if you do it within that time frame. But now that it's been a couple weeks, this is why it's harder for you to come up with the reasoning, right? Because the words, because it's been so long. So if I know we're all still learning, and I do the same thing where I maybe drop the ball on something. I'm like, oh crap, like I should have followed up when I knew I should have followed up and I didn't. Which is why the tracking portion is really important. But I would come back with words like, I'm just still thinking about you. I think this would be so fun and just so easy. So I would kind of frame it that way if you haven't already said something like that. Anybody have any better words for like a 2-week kind of follow-up, words to say? I know I'm not the only one that has these kind of words, because I'm not good at these things either, Rhiannon. So I just fly by the seat of my pants.
And also, when people say, when they're like, oh yeah, I'd love to do something in March, and I'm like, okay, perfect. I will, circle back around to you. So then that doesn't feel weird when I'm like, hey, just following up on that March party, whatever. And then I don't hear anything. And I'm like, okay, well, I know they said they want to, they're definitely interested, and I'm not getting anything. So, I wait a day or two. Hey, just wanted to follow up and see what you thought about that again. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, now I feel like I'm in this awkward position where they said they would. So I really want to pursue it. But
yeah, I think it's kind of a 2-part. When they tell you they want to do the show, book the show. I would not wait. I would not, even if it's like a month or month and a half out, whatever, book the show. I wouldn't say like, oh, that's awesome, I'll follow back up later. Book it when they're excited and they're ready to book the show. So that's like number 1. And number 2, if you are reaching back out, because say like back in the fall, they said they want to do one in the spring, and now it's springtime, you want to create urgency so that they want to book the show. Hey girl, totally thinking of you. I remember that last, back in the holidays, you were super busy and you want to do one in the spring. Spring collection is here. It's a gorgeous. I have like 2 good dates left for March. Which one sounds better for you? Offer it, and offer the 2 dates that work for you, and create that urgency so that she knows, oh gosh, there's only 2 good dates left. Like I have 2 really good dates left for you that are always really fun, or always good attended shows, or whatever. So you create that need for them to want to book right then and there, and not just like, hey, you said you wanted to do this. What do you think? You have to get them to move quickly and to get them to respond. So I try to do things where I'm creating urgency or like scarcity almost, you know what I'm saying? It is kind of a tactic, and I've learned a lot about sales, and I really do feel like that gets people to kind of pull the trigger more quickly than if you're just a little bit more nonchalant about it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I hope that helps. Anything else with that for words? You guys ever have any other good words for that when you're following up a couple weeks out? If not, it's okay.
I mean, I usually just like put it all on me. Like, oh my gosh, my life got so busy. I'm so sorry I dropped the ball. Like, so then it's all just sort of on me, not at all on them. And then that sort of reopens the conversation, because then they're like, oh my gosh, that totally happens to me too.
Mm-hmm.
And you can even, if you have some reason why you dropped the ball, then that's usually relatable too.
Yeah. Or if they didn't respond and it's been a week and no, they feel weird because they didn't respond. And so you're kind of putting it back on you. So I really do like that. It's not their fault. It's my fault.
Yeah.
How big? Oh, go ahead, Jess.
I was going to say, I found lately that I'm just super being authentic. Like, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like to what was said. But I think one of the things that's really important is the sense of urgency, but also just being vulnerable in those text messages. I find that I actually get way more responses that way. And I've had the same thing where someone will say like, oh no, not till later or till spring. And then I'm following up with them and then giving them the dates. And I don't know about you guys, but my March is already filling up so fast. So just with life and like whatever, and really I only have so many dates. Mm-hmm. So I do think that that's helpful and it gives a sense of urgency. That's how I booked this February show that just canceled on me back in December. I like said, this is all I have in February. This is it. And then they booked it, and then the snow and all that stuff's happening. And now they want to relook at March. And I'm like, I don't have really any dates left in March. Mm-hmm. So I think that it's really important to be as honest as you can be.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. And then I'm feeling like I've been doing the totally wrong thing, because then I have my calendar, that I created in Mimi, like, oh, I have this booked and these available. I'm probably being like way too, I'm like, open.
Yeah, that's what
I'm like, whatever you want, I'll make it work.
You're so funny. Yeah, those calendars are great in Mimi. But you should not have more than probably like 7 or 8 dates open, right? Like
someone told me one time about the calendar that you should put booked, even if it's not a show you booked, but if you're just doing something personally. Like if I'm busy on a Friday night, I'll put booked, but it'll look like I booked a show even though I'm just not available that day. And it creates, like you said, the urgency.
Exactly. That's just like another added part of that. So I love that.
Okay, so 7 openings is not too much to put on a calendar.
I would say, I probably won't even do that many, honestly. I'd probably just do a couple of the prime dates that are always good shows for you. So if you always have great like Wednesday wine nights, maybe pick 2 Wednesdays that you can do a show, put available, and also like maybe 2 Saturdays or whatever days you like to do the best shows that work well for you. I would offer those as like the ones that are available, but you certainly don't want your whole calendar to look available, because that's like they're going to think like, wow, she's way available, or like no one's booking with her. So you want to look like, oh, she's booked a lot. Like her business is rocking. So it really gets people to think differently. It's actually pretty funny. One last thing I want to talk about too is, how big are your lists? Are you guys still making lists? Are you going off the lists? Are you following up with those people on the list? How is that looking for you? Because that's a really big deal. 280 plus. Am I reading that right? Sonali, you have 280 people on your list. What? Have you messaged all of them and are like following up with them? That's bananas. I mean, is it like, I'd love to hear what your results have been if you have so many people. You have online shows, reaching out to businesses for pop-up shows has been successful. Good. And, pop-ups, you guys, are such a great way to meet new people. You don't necessarily expect to get sales, and that's fine. But if you ever get in a sponsoring rut, which I know we all get in from time to time, and you just need to meet new people, see new faces, book a local pop-up. Was it Haley or Megan? Megan was talking about pop-ups, I think. I forget.
It was me.
Okay. Yeah.
And I would love to have some like words to say to like approach that / what do you actually like bring to the pop-up? Do you find like wine bars, or like where's the best places to do that?
I know people have done it in various things, hair salons, Orange Theories. You could do a coffee shop, you could do a wine bar, you could do a dentist office. I mean, there's just like, you could literally go anywhere. Pottery Barn does a ton of pop-ups, apparently. I've never done it there, but I've always wanted to. So there really, it's kind of endless. And I actually have a screenshot of words to say. I was at a Seattle thing back when Kathleen Mitchell was part of Sell and Dot. She came to Seattle, and there was like an awesome word to say to when you're either on the phone or emailing or however you're contacting the business about why you want to do a pop-up and how it's going to be beneficial for them. So it's more about like, hey, I would love to come partner with you and do a little pop-up at your whatever coffee shop, because I'm going to tell my customers and blast it all over my social media so people come to your shop and shop, but that I can also expand my network and get to mingle with your customers too. So it's like a partnership where you are going and benefiting from meeting new people, but you're also bringing, telling you're going to bring your people because you're going to be telling everybody you're going to be there. So it's kind of like a partnership. So I can definitely send that to you, Haley, if you want to see.
Yes,
or post it somewhere.
That would be great. So sort of like side note B, just in terms of authenticity, I don't have a network here. In terms of like, I'm going to bring all my people. I don't have.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily that. It's just about you like putting the word out about where you're going to be and when, and that your goal is to not just be there to like just meet new people, but like you're just trying to find a way to partner with them so they know it's not just like you're just there for you. I'll send you the words because I cannot think of the exact like phrasing, but I'll send it to you so you can see it. Yeah,
that'd be great.
Hold on, I want to see what this says. I don't know that many people, Ashley. Actually, you probably do, but you just have to like go through your Facebook and all that stuff. Follow-ups. Cool. Sonali, I'd love to hear your results. Go ahead. Who is going to talk?
Well, I was just going to ask like Sonali, like where are you necessarily coming up with the 280 people in terms of like, because I've gone through like your Facebook list and go through like I've gone through all of those lists. So where are you generating those new ideas? And I know like my list open. So I was just reading what she said. Like, and I've gone like, and I know you add people from the parties that you've been to and all that, but just like ideas for generating new ideas. Cause I've also not a stylist that signed up this month, but a past stylist I have, she's been having the same problem and like wanting coaching around it. And so I'm like, I'm having the same issue. So like providing that coaching for something that I don't necessarily feel like I am stellar at.
Yeah, it's literally thinking of like every circle of like of your buckets of different people in your life. Facebook's obviously great because you can look at like anybody you're friends with. Instagram, same thing. I really feel like, if I'm being honest, the best way to expand your network is to do a pop-up because you're going to meet people you do not know at all. And then obviously to set shows. It's the whole goal of shows is to meet new people, which is why you're making lists to book shows. So it's one of those things like we'll have to do this to do this, so I mean, we all have to start somewhere, and she's probably doing it through, I would assume, through like Facebook and just making a list of all the people that she knows locally and just from, oh, sorry. Can you guys still see me? Oh, sorry. I mean, she's probably just brainstorming everyone that she knows. Oh, she imported people on her phone, and then anyone who shopped with her. So yeah, I mean.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So I have been brainstorming, and I'd like to bring it up. Like, I see the same coffee girls at the same coffee shop that I go to all the time. How would you bring it up to, I guess they're like quote unquote a stranger, but I know that maybe some of these girls would be probably interested, but I don't know how to approach it without sounding like a creep.
I think if you just be yourself, honestly. I like when I see somebody and I'm just like, she's so darling. Like she's looking all together and put together. Like, I know what I would say. Does anybody else want to chime in? Because I don't want to be the only one talking. Anybody have an idea of how you would approach that, or what you would say to somebody who you see kind of routinely at like a coffee shop?
Do you talk to them very much, Ashley? I mean, do you have like good banter already?
I mean, there's small talk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like, we probably don't even know each other's names, but we talk, like small talk when I go in there. And it's like I've always wanted to bring it up to them, but I just don't know how to approach without sounding like a weirdo.
I think I'd be honest and say I've been wanting to do this for weeks, and I'm finally gonna talk to you about it. I would just be totally honest. That's
my other idea was approaching the person, their manager, whatever, and doing maybe a pop-up there, because maybe that'll already then plant the seed for those people that work at the coffee shop, so that was my other idea.
I love the idea for the pop-up, and I also feel like connecting whatever you say to them first, because I've done this for like all online people, like connect with something in their life first, and then that creates connection. So if it's like you think they would be great because they always have cute earrings, or you think they would be great because they're always so friendly, then you like start it with that, like, oh my gosh, like I always laugh every time we talk. I think you would be great because you're already so outgoing at this, so that you're relating it to something like you truly feel about them and why you think they would be good for hosting or stylist or whatever.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Make it personal.
We practiced this at one of the breakouts at Hoopla, and it was kind of to acknowledge a little bit like, oh my gosh, this is so out of the blue and random, but I noticed that you're always dressed so cute, and I don't know if you've heard of this company, but I think you would totally love it. Fits your style. But kind of to address like, hey, I know this is going to sound really just coming out of nowhere.
I've done that in my messages. Like when I personally message people, people I've not talked to for like 10 plus years, because I didn't want to come off as like being weird. So I was like, oh my gosh, I kind of did that exact same thing, like, for people I haven't talked to in a long time.
One thing I say, and it's only if it's actually true, is, and I do this a lot because I always think of people I think would be great, and then I put it off and put it off and put it off. And so I'm like, hey, this is really weird and I'm really dumb right now. But like, I've been so chicken to like tell you that I think you'd be great at this. I've thought about this every time I come in and get coffee from you. You're like so put together and so cute. And I love just like, even just like chatting with you over the counter. I think you would love to do what I do. And just really be vulnerable, just like what everyone else has said. Be yourself. Be authentic about why you think she'd be great at it. And this is you being bold and taking that like vulnerable step. Bless you, Jess. And taking that vulnerable step to really put yourself out there. But really, what do you have to lose? You have nothing to lose. And if anything, if she's like, oh, it's really not for me. And I would say, well, if anything, just take it as a compliment. I think you'd be great at this. I mean, who would not take that as a compliment? So I think that's a really great way to approach it. I love everything everybody said. And the pop-up idea is great too. I just think if you were to put yourself out there a little bit, I think you'd get more comfortable with it every single time you do. But I think I definitely think you should say something. I think that's awesome. Okay. So the other challenge, you guys, besides inviting 10 people to the Blythe Meet Style and Dot tonight, is the obvious one: book one more show in February. We are all in the same boat, every single one of us. I mean, I could tell you 1,000 times this month where I'm like, well, gig's up, can't do this anymore. Like, oh my gosh. But it's not, you guys, it's not. And I think we just get in our heads too much. We just need to persevere. And so I think if we put our heads down and we do some action, like true action that's going to match our purpose and move our business forward, that you will see results. So I think if anything, I bet we can all book one more online show. We could also, I mean, I personally am going on vacation next week, so I have a little bit more limited time, but I know I could still book like a Monday trunk show if I really wanted to. Have I put in the work to get there yet? I haven't. And that's just me like being really honest, like, oh my gosh, I totally could book a show, but I haven't done the actions to get there. So what am I doing today? I am making my new list. I am making sure I'm following up with the ones that were on my other one. And my goal is to book a Monday show by the end of today or end of tomorrow. And I know that seems like, oh my gosh, it's in like 5 or 6 days. And it is, but it's possible. It happens all the time. So don't limit yourself in thinking you can't do it, because you definitely can. So again, you're going to invite 10 people to tonight's Blythe interview thing on Facebook, and then get one more show booked for the end of the month. Okay, so that's kind of our challenge to you guys.
Is there just a link to the Facebook Live?
Or,
I'm wondering if it's just, guys, I honestly don't know all the details. I'm wondering if it's just on the regular Facebook Stella and Dot page is my assumption. I will look and I'll make sure I communicate that with you guys. I'll jump on the Marco Polo and let you guys know for sure where to find it. I just heard about it actually like before we came on here, so I haven't got all the details. But I'm assuming it's kind of like all the other ones they do where it's just on the regular Stella and Dot page. So anybody who follows that page would be like notified that somebody went live. But I do know it's Blythe, which I love when Blythe talks about our business, and she's just, I don't know, she just has something about her that really, I feel like makes a big impact. So I'm excited to see how that goes. And even if you sponsored one, don't feel like you shouldn't still reach out for tonight. You want to sponsor as many women as you can, every month. It's going to help build your team. So I know a couple of you've already sponsored, which is awesome. But I still definitely want you guys to take the challenge and invite at least 10 people to just tune in tonight and just personally message them about that. Okay, I don't want this to go too much longer. Do you guys have any questions at this point? No. Okay. Well, we will jump off. We are going to continue to use that Marco Polo to communicate. I would love to hear more about just how everyone's doing throughout the week. Use that spot to share your wins, your setbacks. Maybe you have questions of like needing input. Like that is exactly what that group is for. I loved hearing everybody's words, and I'm sure we'll hear a few more as people pop on there. Please use that group to connect and to share. And we'll be in there too to help coach, cheer you guys on, and help out if we can. Okay? Okay, I'm going to stop recording.